Well, hello, all of my crafty friends, and welcome to the Scrap Hoarders collaboration series. There are going to be 12 of us in this collaboration over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to show you different ways to use your scraps. Most people have tons of scraps in their card making and paper crafting, and so we're going to be showing you different things to do, like embellishments of all kinds. We're going to show tags and bookmarks and cards, so make sure you're hopping along all 3 weeks. So today I'm bringing out the scraps that I have. Now I have to tell you guys that I'm not a scrap hoarder. I used to be, and it got overwhelming. So at the beginning of this year, I decided to throw away all my scraps. So when I decided to do this, I had to start holding on to some scraps. So these are some of the scraps that I've collected over the last couple of months. And these are some buttons that I pulled out of my stash because I had an idea. And I think that if you guys will stick with me during the next 3 weeks, you will like what we come up with. So I'm just going to bring out my paper trimmer here, and I am going to start trimming everything to 1/4 of an inch. Now I'm not really worried right now about how long they are. Right now I just want them to all have the same width. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys check our description box for the next person in our lineup. Not only is this going to be a lineup, but there's also going to be a hashtag that's going to be in my title that you can click on to find all 12 of us. And there will be a grand prize for actually, there'll be 3 grand prizes for individuals who hop along and comment on all 12 videos all 3 weeks, and that prize will be international. So make sure that you are coming back and checking in with us so that you can get your chance at the prize. And more so than that, you guys know I love chatting with you guys in the comment section. So I hope you guys hop along. I hope you guys love, comment, thumbs up, subscribe. You know, if you're already subscribing, you guys know how I feel about you. I love you, and I am so appreciative that you are here with me. So I'm just ending up getting all of these little scraps cut down that I have collected over the past few weeks, and these are like vellum. I have some alcohol ink backgrounds. I have some foiled paper. I have some paper packs. I just had all types of things. And the only thing that I did was try to keep it kind of in a color family. But as you can see, there's some golds in here. There's some reds in here. And I'm hoping that the way that they are all incorporated, that it will actually look okay. So you guys, I brought out the Fisker punches. Like, these are in the way back of the craft room, the place that you never go to get anything, but I brought them out. And I didn't end up using the small circle. For some reason, my I feel like it's called like depth perception or something maybe. It's kind of off. Like, I always think that things are bigger or farther away than they actually are. This was a little bit too small for what I was trying to do. So that was why I brought out the other punch in addition to that. So I'm going to end up using this kind of scalloped circle punch that I have from Fiskars, and it's just going to act as a base for me. You won't even see this in the end, so you could use whatever you have. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be bringing out some of my art glitter glue from May Made It. This is my favorite liquid glue. It holds very well, and I am going to be using that today. Just kind of trying to size up some of the buttons that I have to see what I want to use. I really love that blue button over there, and so I wanted to really use that one, but I wasn't sure with the size of the circle that I ended up with. I do end up being able to use what I want to though. So I'm going to go ahead, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down some liquid glue. If you are absolutely sure of what you're doing, which I was not, then you could do some score tape here. I was not sure. I was flying by the seat of my pants. I am going to be completely honest with you guys. I chose to do this collab because it is outside of my norm. It's outside of my comfort zone. I don't typically do this type of crafting, but I thought it would be really fun. And I have to tell you that I'm pretty excited about how all of this came together. And what I'll be able to bring to you guys over the next few weeks. So I'm just going to go in and I'm going to go around, and I am keeping some type of sequence with how I'm laying down each of these strips, but I'm basically going around in a circle. So I hope you guys enjoy this. So today is going to be our embellishment day. I hope you guys will come back next weekend, and we're going to do tags and bookmarks, tags and or bookmarks. And then we're going to round it all out on our third weekend, which is the 27th. And that is going to be cards. So it's going to be really fun. There are 12 of us who are hopping. I will have the next person behind me linked in the description box. So please make sure that you check that, as well as all the other information that you need to know about the hop, about prizes, about how to enter, the hashtag, and everything. So now you guys see I've gotten everything all lined up the way that I want it to be. And now I'm going to start folding them over, or kind of looping them over. I don't want to say fold because there's not a crease. They are all kind of just looped together. And I'm allowing it to freely just fall on the other side. I'll trim all of that off as we get done. And I'm just putting a dot of glue. I'm folding over. Putting a dot of glue, folding over, kind of pressing down and giving it a few seconds to adhere to itself. But this is really all I am doing. It was pretty fun. I was thinking like I should get the kids involved and do a ton of these because there's so many different variations, and I'll talk to you about that in just a little while, that you could do with this thing that I had in my head, and I don't even really have a name for it. So that would be a wonderful thing. What would you call this initial piece right here? Like, you guys give it a name for me in the comments. And I wanted to let you guys know that over the next couple weeks, for those of you guys who follow along with me all 3 weeks, I will be doing a prize on my channel. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. I'll be announcing that next week for you guys. So I've got all of that kind of put together. Now I'm going back to look at my buttons, deciding which one I want to use. I'm really wondering if that yellow one would work out better, but I'm really wanting that blue one. I just love the kind of crackled look of the blue one, and I do feel like the yellow one is a good contrasting color, but my heart's just with the blue one. My heart's with the blue. So we end up going with the blue. So now that I kind of know where I'm going with everything and what I want to do, I am going to bring out the score tape. And I'm going to score tape on the back of this as well as on the center of our piece. What are we going to call it? I am so excited to hear what you guys come up with in the description box. Not in the description box, in the comment section. In the comment section. So please let me know, what are we calling this? So now this is what we've come up with. We have this lovely center. I think it could be a flower if you wanted to just leave it like this. However, I kind of started to have my wheels starting to turn. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some additional scraps that I have. And we are going to look at some different ways that you could play with this. So one of the things that I thought about with this, and I'm bringing out some dark blue cardstock. I'm going to bring my paper trimmer out again, and we are going to cut some pieces, and I'm going to create 2 fishtail banners. So I'm kind of sizing my paper to see what size would be a good size for me to cut everything down to. And then I'm going to cut that in half once I get the other side kind of even out, you know, because it's a scrap. None of it is really even. So I'm trying to get it all evened out. And now I'm going to slice. Slice is what I use in Design Space. I'm going to cut it in half with my trimmer. Now, once I get it cut in half with the trimmer, now I'm going to do a 1-inch slit up the center of this piece. So I'm finding out where my center point would be just by measuring at the bottom. Sorry, I'm off screen a little bit. And then once I get that measured, then I am going to cut a small slit up to the 1-inch mark on both of these pieces. And so this should cause me to have two pieces that line up perfectly, because I've made sure that they're the same length, they're the same width, my cut marks are in the same place. That's what I'm crossing my fingers for. So then once I get that done, I'm going to bring in a pair of my scissors and I'm just going to cut those fishtails. And what I'm doing with the fishtails is I'm going for from the corner of each piece up to that cut line, and then I'm going to do it on the other side, and that's how you create your own little fish tail. I'm going to do that for both pieces, and once I get that done, so the first thing that I thought is, oh, I could make a ribbon, I could make a hair bow. So this is kind of my ribbon thought, and then I was like, I think that the fishtails are a little bit too thick if I'm going to make them into a ribbon, because I was thinking like you could do it like a prize and attach it to something, maybe a gift, maybe attaching it to your walls, because I'm all about like decorating the house and things like that with my Cricut and doing like all types of embellishments depending on what month it is. And so then I thought, well, not only could you use this for the center of a ribbon, let's trim out a couple other pieces. So now I'm going to make 2 additional strips, and I'm going to make these strips a little bit shorter and not as wide as the ones that I initially did in the darker blue. So we're going to go ahead and get those trimmed out, and I'm not even worried that this other piece that I'm about to cut out has a cutout in it, because I'm using my scraps and I am going to be able to hide it if I decided to do this. I actually go into a whole different direction here in a few seconds, and you guys will see that. But I just wanted you guys to see some of the different things that you could do with your scraps. So I'm just taking the end piece of one of my Cricut tools, and I'm just rounding out some of those edges so that I can create a nice kind of fold inside of that. And what I thought about was that would make a really, really cute like hair bow if you were making embellishments for a girl for a party or for a birthday, or I'm thinking of you, or whatever the case may be. So here's another idea. So it could be a ribbon. Now we've got a hair bow. If you use it alone, it could be a flower. But then I got to thinking, Father's Day is coming up. And so for me, June is all about my guy. So his birthday is in June, Father's Day is in June. So I just say June is my dude month. So I decided that I was going to take that extra strip of paper, and don't worry, those fishtail banners will come back. So just stay with me. Not today, but stay with me over the next couple of weeks, because it's going to come back. So what I'm doing is I'm just using my mat to kind of get me a point, and to be able to kind of sketch out where I want to cut my last piece of cardstock. So all I'm doing is creating a point at the bottom. And what I've decided is this would make an awesome tie. This would make a great tie as an embellishment. Yes, an oversized embellishment at that. And again, stay with me, because my wheels are turning here, and I'm like, oh, I can do this over the next couple weeks. It can all come together. It's going to be great, or at least I think it's going to be great. And I hope that you guys enjoy it as much as I do. This actually turned out to be really, really fun for me. And I never would have thought, like, you guys may really have created a craft hoarder. Like, I may be keeping up with all of my scraps again. So thank you for even having me as a part of this hop, because I would have never thought about doing this. And this was really, really fun and very relaxing. So all I'm doing is taking additional scraps that I've already cut out and bringing some more of those 1/4 inch strips in. And now I'm trying to decide, did I want it to just be halfway down the tie, a 1/4 way down the tie, or the whole way down? And the thing that I chose was to make it go all the way up the tie. And again, I am using the lines on my grid mat to get those lined up the way that I want them to be. So I'm using my art glitter glue again, and I am putting some glue down onto the blue cardstock and then laying that foil cardstock over the top of it. And as we get this done, once all of those pieces are put in, then I am going to go ahead and clean that up. And I really think this came out super cute. Again, would have never thought about doing this. However, I was so excited with myself for being able to think outside the box and do something that is different from me, for me. So you guys, don't let yourself be intimidated by doing new things. Go ahead and just give it a shot. Maybe you'll love it just like I loved doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean up my edges and get everything so that it actually looks like a tie for us and kind of get all these scraps out of the way. And it's amazing because even after using all of this, I still have lots of scraps left. So we'll continue to use them, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to center that and I'm going to glue it on the top of our tie. I think it turned out super cute, but I want to know what you guys think. Please let me know. Let me know what we're calling the top of it. Let me know what other things you think that we could have done with this. I really appreciate you guys coming by today, and I hope that you guys continue to hop with us. Make sure you're checking our description box. I'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.